Here we go at the start of the race on the backstretch. Big long backstretch to get everybody separated out from the inside out. This Mid-American Offshore, Miccosukee Indian Gaming, Reichman Motorsports, Adrenaline Racing, Lucas Oil, Lightning Strikes, and Pier 57 all the way on the outside. Getting lined up pretty good here, getting ready to go. Where we have the green flag, immediately out to the lead goes Miccosukee Indian Gaming, Brett Bershman and Troy Hannon in the boat now, back together after a few years apart in different boats. The number 10 boat there, that's Mid-American Offshore. Reichman Motorsports, the number 2 entry, Mike Gord and Greg Reichman. You can see Lucas Oil, the number 7 there. The number 18 of Adrenaline all the way on the outside. The number 50, the black boat, the Love Muscle. Great racing early on here in Marathon. APBA Offshore Grand Prix. The first race of the 2004 season is off for these guys in the Super V class. Heading into the first turn early on, Lucas Oil with a little lead over Adrenaline, but still out front is Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Adrenaline being pretty aggressive going into the first turn, trying to catch up to Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Scott Conrad and Ken Bowen all the way out from California in Adrenaline. It's a beautiful 39-foot Donzi. Number 18. They took the win a few weeks ago at the season opening Biloxi OSS race. Running strong here in second place so early on in Marathon. Moving up to the front of the pack, it's a 38-foot fountain with Vortec engines and Bravo drive. This is Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Brett Bershman's the driver. Troy Hannon's back in the throttle seat. Troy Hannon, the owner-operator, Supreme Marines, now taking care of the boat, doing a lot of rigging changes on it. Really seems to have the boat dialed in. This is only his second time in the boat here in Marathon. Brett and Troy raced together a few years ago. But now they're back together. Miccosukee Indian Gaming out front of Super V class, strong field here in Marathon. Miccosukee Indian Gaming and Casino is located in Miami, Florida. Here's some onboard camera footage off Miccosukee. Brett Frischman on the right, Troy Hannon on the left. You can see they're heading right in towards the bridge there. Troy Hannon, Brett Frischman running very strong here in Miccosukee Indian Gaming early on at the Marathon Offshore Grand Prix. Miccosukee Indian Gaming team has run 3 races so far this year, taking a second place at the SBI season opener in Miami, taking a first place at the SBI Orange Beach, Alabama race, currently here in first place in Marathon at the APBA Marathon Offshore Grand Prix. The boat's been running very well this year, especially since Troy at Supreme Marine has been taking over the rigging duties on the boat, made a lot of changes. The boat's running great this year. Troy, the throttle man, does a great job on the rigging and setup with this boat. Fourth place boat, that's the Love Muscle Racing, another fountain, driven by Dr. Bruce Kruglich and throttled by David Branch, both out of Sarasota, Florida. The number 50, Love Muscle Racing. As always, another beautiful David Hunter paint job on this boat. He painted all the muscle boats. David Hunter, great painter out of Fort Lauderdale area. Love Muscle Racing out of Sarasota. Another one of the fountain skaters with Mercury 525 engines and Mercury number 6 drives. The Love Muscle team's been running the SBI circuit for the past few years, so I know everybody at APBA is glad to have another team back racing with them. These guys always put on a great show and have a big following with the fans. Love Muscle currently in 4th place in the Super V class. Dave Peterson, a home builder in the Venice, Sarasota area. Gary Easterling, a doctor in the area. Doing a little dance there, trying walking a little bit. Gary quickly gets it under control. Still running strong. Currently in 5th place here at the Offshore Super Series. Second race, St. Petersburg, Florida. Black Pearl, beautiful paint job by Ocean Graphics out of St. Petersburg. On board Black Pearl, Gary Easterling and David Peterson on the throttles. Looks like it's the switch just ahead of the Black Pearl there on the left, just out of the windscreen. Number 16 Super V Black Pearl still running very good. Only their second race together in the boat at the season opener in Biloxi. They had some problems, I believe, driver propeller problems. Oh, a little hook there action. Got it quickly under control, still running well. Dave Peterson, Gary Easterling, still sinking as a team, but running very well here in the Black Pearl Super V, number 16. Coming up to Team Taboo now, P3-7 is a 42-foot fountain with twin 440 horsepower Yanmar diesel engines with twin disc Arneson surface drives. The owner is BTM Marine. Phil Mazzoni out of Delray Beach is your driver. Throttle man is Craig Wilson out of Palm City, Florida. Currently in first place in the P3 class, Team Taboo always runs well. Other boats in the P3 class include Johnson Chiropractic, the 30-foot Phantom, Augie Penza down from New Jersey with his team Nesquik Offshore, Cast Off Racing, and Team Fortress all the way down from Michigan in their 30-foot Phantom. But currently first place overall, Team Taboo. These guys always run well. They also took a first place in marathon earlier on in the season. Craig Wilson and Bill Mazzoni in Team Taboo. Just offshore between Siesta Key and Longboat Key now. Team Taboo still running strong. First place ahead of the pack in P3 class. By Mountain Rock Racing out of King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. The driver is Herbie Stotler out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Throttle man's Rich Wyatt out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Currently running second in Superboat Unlimited V-Bottom class. The V1 Firewater always runs strong. Running well here today in Sarasota at the 20th Annual Suncoast Offshore Grand Prix. DF Young Logistics, one of the main sponsors aboard this boat. Firewater took a first place earlier this season in Miami in the rough waters. Mac Tools also a big sponsor aboard Firewater now. Still running strong out of rigged and maintained by Stotler Marine in Fort Lauderdale. Herb Stotler on the wheel today, Rich Wyatt on the throttle. Go on board here with Firewater in the cockpit. Herbie Stotler on the right with Rich Wyatt on the left. Moving to the front of the pack in Super V class, this is Rio Rose's Lake Cumberland Marine Shockwave V71, owned by Rich Tropoli. Today at the wheel we got Ben Robertson. On the throttle, Mike Siebold, world famous tunnel boat racer. Both these guys used to race tunnel boats. Now they're spending a lot of time in this offshore boat together. At the last race in Marathon, Rio Roses was your winner. Today, currently in Sarasota, they're in the lead again with Firewater in second place. It's a 39-foot, actually it's a 42-foot fountain with twin 750 horsepower Mercury racing engines with Mercury number 6 surface drive. Class is number 15, fountainracing.com. It's a 38-foot fountain with twin 525 Mercury inboards with Bravo drives. The owner is David Knight out of Moncure, North Carolina. Roger Ausley's your driver. David Knight is on the throttles. This is the former Invensis team, which won national world championships in the F2 class, running very strong here today at the 20th annual Suncoast Offshore Grand Prix. Lake Cumberland Fountain Mercury. These guys took a first place at the Marathon SBI race, still running strong here today in second place, just behind Adrenaline Racing. Heading into Siesta Beach, just off Point of Rocks, boats battling up front, Adrenaline Racing and fountainracing.com. Ski Indian Gaming's a 38-foot fountain with the GM Vortec power with the Bravo drives. Troy Hannon on the throttles. Rigson maintains this boat from Supreme Marine in Fort Lauderdale. Mikasuki Indian Gaming out of the Miami area. Mikasuki Indian Gaming's running very well this season. At the season opener in Miami, they took a second place. In Orange Beach, Alabama, they took a first. And at the following race in Marathon, they took a second again. Go on board with Mikasuki Indian Gaming. Brett Frischman's the driver on the right. Troy Hannon on the left is the throttle man. You can see very close racing there. That was Wild Ride, the Super V Limited, right beside them there. Very tight battle right here off Siesta Key. Miccosukee Indian Gaming, Super V Limited number 30, currently in 4th place. Here's the 20th annual Suncoast Offshore Grand Prix. Moving on to P1 class, here you see Firewater. It's a 47-foot Apache with triple Stoutler 1100 horsepower inboard. The original Firewater, a beautiful 47-foot Apache, is owned by Bob Oliver, who's also the driver and throttle man. Karen Oliver is the navigator today. Running the P1 class, the Olivers in Firewater. First place overall in P1 class. Back to the V Limited class, a great battle here between Pier 57 and Lightning Strikes. Like I said, a lot of confusion in the results in V Limited class. A lot of boats went off course, so at the current time it's hard to tell who finished where, but a great battle here. Two evenly matched boats, a 38-foot Fountain Skater against a 38-foot Donzi. Lightning Strikes in Pier 57. There you see Superboat Unlimited V-bottom class. Rio Rosen's going by, leading their class. On the spot now, the number 11 Pier 57 is being raced by M&M Racing out of Sarasota, Florida. Bill McComb's the driver. Bill McComb's the throttle man and owner. And the driver is Lisa Matthews out of Sarasota. Some of the local sponsors include 4-Star Products, Accurate Marine, Glick Automotive, Matthews Curry Ford, and Pier 57. Boats running very well here today. They've had a few problems earlier on this year. They seem to have them sorted out. The boat looks great right now. Running very strong. Great battle against the Donzi of Lightning Strike. Bill McComb and Lisa Matthews, both out of the Sarasota area, doing a great job in their home waters. Special thanks to all their crew that does a great job taking care of their boat, especially the crew chief Billy Glick, who filled in the throttle man seat at the race in Port Huron, Michigan. For V Limited boats here. This is the number 16 boat. This is Black Pearl, another Sarasota-based boat. Gary Easterling out of Sarasota is the driver. On the throttles is David Peterson. Black Pearl's a 38-foot Fountain, formerly the Utz Castaway boat. It's got twin Mercury 525 EFI engines in it with Bravo drives. Doing quite a bit of bouncing around, but still running strong. Dave Peterson on the throttles. Gary Easterling behind the wheel in their hometown waters of Sarasota. Number 16, Super V Limited, the Black Pearl. Some onboard camera footage from Black Pearl. Quite a bit of commotion there at the start of the race, with 14 boats answering the starter's call, and V Limited, quite a frenzy at the start of the race. On board Black Pearl, Gary Easterling, the driver, on the right, Dave Peterson on the throttles on the left. Doing a great job together. Only their third race together, Gary Easterling and Dave Peterson and Black Pearl. Looking forward to a great season ahead. A lot of good things to come. New team just getting acquainted with each other. Should do well in the 38-foot fountain, Black Pearl. Moving on to Instigator now. This is the National Marine Instigator boat, number 22 in Super V class. Had an up and down year so far. They took the first place at the season opener in Miami, running away from everybody. And then in Orange Beach, Alabama, I believe they finished second. Running strong here today. Peter Meyer on the throttles. Joe Stroh, your driver. Always a hard runner here. Beautiful 38-foot fountain, the former Dragon Lady boat. After it was Dragon Lady, it was called Shockwave. That's the paint job it has on it now. National Marine's the new sponsor. Number 22 in the V Limited class, Instigator Motorsports, National Marine. Wow, what a hit they took there. Instigator, big jump, really hard hit, a little bit of hook on the landing there. Put it right up on its side there. You see battling GM Vortec. You can see parts flying off the boat upon landing there. Quite a hard hit there. You can see the hole starting to form in the back of the boat there. Hopefully they can get it in quickly without taking on too much water. Right near the end of the race, Instigator, National Marine taking a very hard hit. See pieces of the boat flying off there upon impact. Not a good sign. Very lucky not to roll the boat over. Peter Meyer and Joe Scrow, two longtime veterans. But immediately going to the front of the pack, you can see Bacardi Silver as well as FountainRacing.com. Bacardi Silver taking off ahead of the pack. Now, Nikisuki also towards the front of the pack there on the outside. Black Pearl right there with them, as well as Firewater. Several boats heading out front early on here. Rio Roses is all the way to the outside. Ben Robertson likes to see bold aboard Rio Roses, two champ boat racers together. And then right in the middle of your screen is the orange and yellow and black Showtime 36-foot skater. Nigel Hook all the way on the outside on the beach, running down there in the Lucas Oil number 7 B Limited boat. A little bit bumpy here early on, not quite flat like Sarasota, but still easy handling for these big Super Vs and super boats. Heading off of Dania now towards the Hollywood Beach area. Right in front of us is David Knight and Roger Ostley there in the FountainRacing.com boat. Just ahead of them is Firewater, Rich Wyatt, and Herb Stotler in the Superboat B Unlimited class. Going on board with Firewater now, driver Herbie Stotler, throttle Rich Wyatt, coming off second place in Sarasota, trying to improve some points here in Dania Beach at the fifth stop on the Superboat Tour. On the left there, you can see Bacardi Silver going off to the quick lead in the Superboat Unlimited class. On board the Superboat E-Bottom now, going by Unlimited there on the right, that's Nikisuki Indian Gaming. This vantage point looks like Firewater out to the early second or third place overall. You can see the competition there right off to the right. Rio Roses, very similar boat, that one running Mercury power on board. Firewater, we have Stotler power. Off the south end of the course, heading back north again to our helicopter. E1 Firewater Racing. Main sponsor of the Young. Mac Cool is also a new big sponsor helping out with Firewater Racing. Rich White, Problem really does a great job in rough water, proving himself time and time again this year. Scott was pretty new to driving this boat, but he is the engine builder. He does maintain the boat, does a great job. Firewater, beautiful 40-foot fountain. Stotler Racing engines with Mercury number 6 drive. Rich Wyatt doing a great job on the sticks. Just ahead of Firewater, their main competition, Rio Roses. Very similar boats, a little different power, but both run strong. International Dania Hollywood Grand Prix. Coming down now on DL30, this is Miccosukee Indian Gaming, the 38-foot fountain. Drivers, Brett Fershman, Throttleman, Troy Hannon. Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Miccosukee Indian Gaming's actually a big competitor of this weekend's sponsor, but Miccosukee Indian Gaming down off Chrome Avenue and 41, large casino and resort area, Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Troy Hannon at the throttles also owns Supreme Marine, who maintains the boat as well as several other race boats, including the Hulk. Troy Hannon, Supreme Marine, home for all your Mercury, Mercruiser, rigging, and service needs here in beautiful Fort Lauderdale. Miccosukee Indian Gaming number 30 is in a tight battle for the national championship in Superboat Limited class. Currently here, I believe, running in third place early on in the race here at Dania Beach, Hollywood. Looks like the boat's running great here. Getting down towards the south end of the course here off of Hollywood Beach. Looks like it gets a little bumpier down towards this end. Heading around the corner and turn back north again. Some onboard shots off of Miccosukee. Brett Fershman on the right is your driver. Troy Hannon on the left is the throttle man. Close, you can see the little TV screens right in front of them. That's their rear view camera through the mirrors, the rear view mirror cameras. Another VL class boat, Super V Limited. Right there off the right is the Black Pearl, very similar 38-foot fountain. Today Luke Dickey's driving with David Peterson on the throttles. Black Pearl running strong early on here in Dania Beach. See, very confusing down at the south end of the course off of Hollywood. All the boats going through the turn together. A lot of different classes, a lot of whitewater, a little bumpy in this area. Troy Hannon and Brett Firschman doing a great job in their 38-foot fountain, Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Going on board now with Black Pearl Racing. Luke Dickey, your driver. Dave Peterson, your throttle man, number 16 in the V Limited class. Another shot back from the start of the race there. You can see Rio Rosa's right off to the right, and on the left is Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Black Pearl's the former Utz Castaway boat from last year. Now repainted and re-rigged. Black Pearl runs strong early on in the V Limited class. Hitting a few bumps here right off the Dania Hollywood area. Still running strong. Dave Peterson doing a great job on throttle. Luke Dickey, great job at the wheel. Special thanks to crew chief Pete Sharkady. Going back to the second start of the race on board Taboo, P3 class boat. Diesel's got quite the funny sound, but they always run strong, well, and very well in Taboo. Bill Mazzoni and Craig Wilson aboard. This starts the P boats as well as the stock class boats. Taboo always runs well. Took a first place in Marathon as well as first place in Sarasota, currently leading the P3 class points. So racing number 50, running the VL50, the 42-foot fountain. You see Catalan going by on the outside in the Superboat Unlimited class. I'm also racing a 42-foot fountain with Mercury Racing 525 engines with a number 6 drive. Diamond Dave Branch, your throttle man. Dr. K, Bruce Kruglich, your driver. Special Discovery Channel TV program being filmed about the guys here this weekend. Drew a new dimension to spectators here in boat racing. Diamond Dave, always the character, running strong here in the V Limited class, coming off the big win in Sarasota in their hometown. always throws the great party. Threw another great one in Sarasota for the 4th of July races this year. Dave Branch and Bruce Kruglich in Muscle Racing. Bouncing around a little bit, but still running well, the VL50 Muscle Racing. Coming down now on number 22, Instigator National Marine, Joe Scrow and Peter Meyer, back to their old boat, the 42-foot Fountain, their bigger boat. After they had a little mishap in Sarasota and took a bunch of water on, they're repairing that boat and modifying it now and trying to stay in the points chase here, so they brought out the old boat. Peter Meyer on the throttles, Joe Scrow with the wheel. You know, they had Jerry Haney working his butt off in Sarasota to get it here. And it looks like they're running well. Hopefully it'll pay off for them and get some points here in Dania Beach. Going by on the outside of the course, you can see Black Pearl there heading in, breaking down early in the race here. But still running strong in the DL class is the number 22, Instigator National Marine, Joe Scron at the moment. Very even racing here in the P4 class. Extreme Liquid Assets and Extreme Racing battling here. Going with it, Extreme Racing now. It's a 29-foot Fountain Fever P411. Several sponsors aboard, including Throttle Up Propellers, West Marine, Bi-Direct Marine, Hydromotor Engineering, Hampton Inn, Fountain Powerboats, Hammerhead Boatworks Frenzy, Superboat International, and RPM Promotions. It's powered by a single 500 EFI Mercury inboard. The boat's won several races. It won the 2002 national title with finishes in the top 3 in every race and an unprecedented 5 wins. In 2002, obtained the world kilo record of 86.215 mile per hour in the F1 class. In 2003, it obtained the kilo of 87.684, breaking their 2002 record. In 2003, they won the Northeast Divisional title and the Southeast Divisional title, successfully defended their national title, and won the World Championship. Frank Sorrow, the throttle man, Scott O'Connor, your driver. Mike Soroy is also their crew chief. On the outside there, you can see stock class boat Deep V Cats going by, Lee Austin and Steve Quick aboard, but now we're still with Extreme Racing, 29-foot fountain in the P4 class, currently running in second place, just behind the Miami Boys and just ahead of Extreme Liquid Assets. Scott O'Connor and Frank Sorrow doing a great job aboard. The Extreme Racing currently your leader in the P4 class, P411, Fountain Extreme, Frank Sorrow and Scott O'Connor. Right in front of us here, 42-foot Fountain. Bill Mazzoni and Craig Wilson aboard. Next in line there is the APBA boat. Pace boat all the way in the background, I believe, just dropped the green flag. We have the green flag out front in stock class early on. Racing Frenzy right there. But you can see Gary Ballou and Mike Mahison, the APBA, just taking off right at the start. Team Taboo here all the way on the inside. Big 42 Fountain in this rough water. Really likes the rough water. Just on the outside of them, there's Team Fortress, 30-foot Phantom all the way down from Michigan. Great start, lots of boats, lots of action here early on in Deerfield Beach National Championship Offshore Grand Prix for SBI and APBA. Team Taboo running out of the Delray Beach area and Palm City, Florida area. Bill Mazzoni and Craig Wilson aboard. This is a 42-foot fountain powered by twin Yanmar diesels with harness and surface drives. Very rare combination, but always runs very strong. This is your 2004 SBI National Champion in the P3 class. Pretty much unbeatable when it runs. But they're going to get a lot of competition with the Fortress all the way down from Michigan here, and the Castaway Racing boat also running strong. There you can see Applegate Trucking there on the far right, and right under us now is Deep V Cats in the stock class. Lee Austin and Steve Quick battling early on in this Grand Prix. On board now, Team Taboo, Craig Wilson on the right of the screen and Bill Mazzoni on the left, your driver. Craig Wilson on the throttles, running strong here early on in the rough waters off of Deerfield Beach at the SBI APBA National Championship race. There you can see our helicopter. Russ Kilpatrick's your pilot there, right on the right. Bumpy ride early on here at the start in Deerfield Beach. You can see the hatch bouncing around a little bit. They forgot to latch that down. Not slowing them down at all here in Deerfield. Team Taboos run strong all year and put together the national championships in SBI for the P3 class. Your national champion, Team Taboo, P3-1. The diesel-powered fountain with the Arneson drives. You can hear the turbos hum on the diesels. Listen in. Back to our aerial shot. Team Taboo doesn't even look like it's quite bouncing around as much as it does from the onboard camera. Running well in the beginning of the race here in Deerfield Beach. P3 starting with the super stock class. Some other P3 boats there. The Fortress is right in the middle of your screen. It's a little 30-foot Phantom. Tyler Crockett and Mark Slater aboard out of Michigan. Bill Mazzoni aboard, 42-foot Fountain out of Delray Beach, Florida. Diesel Yanmar power with the Arneson surface drives. Wilson Custom Marine, the rigger and maintainer of this boat, running very strong, has all year long. It's your SBI National Championship. It's going to be quite interesting to go to Key West with all the different classes combined. There will not be an APBA, an SBI, and OSS classes. It will be P3 class, winner take all, not I won the APBA or I won SBI. They're all going to be racing together to see who's the champion of the world. Freeze frame video will be very happy to be in Key West this year. Over 130 boats expected to be competing. We're very happy to look forward to going down there to cover the racing action for all you fans out there. There's some side-by-side racing again. Like I said, it's amazing to see two very different styles of boats running side-by-side. 42-foot fountain with twin 450 horsepower inboards and a 30-foot AMT with twin 280 horsepower outboards running side-by-side in this bumpy water off of Deerfield Beach. S111 in the background, that's Applegate Trucking out of Cranbury, New Jersey, a sponsor for the Double Edge Motorsports racing team. Mark Hanna, the driver, Ryan Beckley on the throttles in the super stock class, now moving up after a bad start, running strong now, trying to chase down the leaders. It's a 30-foot AMT with twin 2.5 Mercury outboards, pulling away from the 42-foot fountain with the 420 horsepower Yanmar diesels. Very bumpy ride in the corners with all the swells here in Deerfield Beach. Probably the roughest part of the course was going around the corner. Moving on to your current leader in the P4 class, it's P433 Conrad Fountain of Youth. Sponsored by Conrad Drive Systems, this 33-foot fountain is owned by Brian Bunch out of Gibraltar, Michigan. The driver's Jim Lejana out of Harrison Township, and the throttle man is Brian Bunch out of Gibraltar, Michigan. It's powered by twin Mercury 500 horsepower engines. Strong runner, Team Ultra, Conrad Fountain Racing out of Michigan. Runs most of the Great Lakes Series races, running strong here at the SBI APBA National Championship. This 33-foot fountain's handling these bumpy waters quite well here at Deerfield Beach. Other P4 class boats, Extreme Liquid Assets, and Herbot Racing also in the class. Bumpy waters as they head around the corner at the north end of the course near the Boca Inlet here in Deerfield Beach. Brian Bunch and Jim Lejana doing a great job in the cockpit of Conrad Fountain of Youth. You can see the older style 10-meter fountain, no steps in the bottom, but still runs very strong. P433 Conrad Fountain of Youth all the way down from Michigan, battling the waters off Deerfield Beach. There's the Deerfield Beach Pier in the background. The city of Deerfield does a great job promoting this race and getting behind every aspect of the race. Currently first in Super V class, V71 Rio Roses, Lake Cumberland. This boat is owned by Rich Tropoli out of Toms River, New Jersey. The driver today is Mike Seafold, the throttleman Ben Robertson. It's a 42-foot fountain with Mercury Supercat engines and Mercury No. 6 drives. Maintained by the Fountain Factory Racing Team, always a strong runner, Rio Roses. Battling here today for the national championship with Firewater Racing. Currently leading the race. Firewater hasn't been seen yet. So Rio Roses currently on their way to the national championship in the Super Boat V-bottom class. Rocking along pretty good in the bumpy waters here off Deerfield. You can see a little bit of water ballast coming out of the ballast tank dumps right by the number in the front of the boat, but running very strong. Rio Roses. Moving on to the battle in the Super V Light Limited class for SBI and APBA combined here in Deerfield Beach. This is Miccosukee Indian Gaming with Brett Bershman, your driver, and Gary Ballou, first time in the boat, throttle man. And the outside is Adrenaline Racing, number 18, a 39-foot Donzi with Ken Bowen and Scott Conrad aboard. Both boats powered by Mercury 525 engines, both boats with Bravo drives. A Donzi Versa fountain. The Donzi bouncing around quite a little bit. Scott Conrad on the throttles. On the inside, Miccosukee Indian Gaming in their home area waters, doing a great job. Gary Ballou, never been in the boat before, jumped out of his stock class boat to jump in the Super V boat and doing a great job, currently leading the field of Super Vs in Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Scott Conrad on the outside with Ken Bowen and Adrenaline doing everything they can to keep up with the number 18 boat, but the number 30 Miccosukee Indian Gaming running strong out front in Super V class here at the National Championships. Adrenaline pulling out a slight lead now on Miccosukee. Great battle here, going south along the beach here in Deerfield. Taking quite the hit there, Adrenaline. On board Miccosukee with Brett Bershman and Gary Ballou now heading north on the race course at this point. If you look close, you can see right in the center there, their rear view cameras right in the middle of the screen there. That's their cameras on each side of the boat. Great battle in the Super V class, Miccosukee and Adrenaline Racing. All these boats looking forward to the big showdown coming up next month in Key West. All OSS, Superboat International, and APBA combined for one World Championship. It's going to be a great race, and Free Stream Video will be there for all 3 races, all 3 days, to bring you all the coverage. DF Young, currently second place in the Super V Unlimited category. V1, last year's national champion, used to be the Firewater team. Now it's DF Young, Rich Wyatt, and Herb Stotler aboard. Rich Wyatt on the throttles. Herb Stotler driving is the engine builder for this beautiful 40-foot fountain with number 6 Mercury drives. Currently second place in Superboat V-bottom class. Beautiful 40-foot fountain, race prepared by Stotler Marine, who's the driver, Herb Stotler. Sponsorship from Mac Tools aboard. DF Young Logistics is the main sponsor aboard. V1. Lots of boats running here in beautiful Deerfield Beach. There you see Simmons Racing on the outside getting passed by DF Young, the V1, second place in Superboat V-bottom class. There's another P1 class boat, that's Outlaw there on the outside. Lots of different classes running here today at the National Championships for APBA and SBI in beautiful Deerfield Beach, Florida. Rich Wyatt and Herb Stotler doing a great job aboard V1 DF Young. Coming down now on Pier 57, number 11, V Limited class, Super V class. Bill McComb on the throttles is the owner. Bill Glick is the driver today. Lisa Matthews, normally a driver, she's not in the boat, but Billy Glick's doing a great job behind the wheel now. It's a 39-foot skater fountain V-bottom. Running very strong here today off of Deerfield Beach. One of their best showings of the year, getting ready to go by the muscle here. One of their hometown rivals, Bill McComb, is a doctor in Sarasota, as is the driver of the muscle, Bruce Kruglich. Arch rivals here, love muscle racing in Pier 57. Battling head-to-head at the National Championships off of Deerfield Beach, Florida. Dave Branch and Bruce Kruglich aboard the muscle in another skater fountain V-bottom. Both with similar setups. The muscle racing has the Mercury Racing with the number 6 drive. Pier 57 has the Vortec engine with the number 5 drive. Both running very strong here About mid-race at Deerfield Beach, head-to-head combat in the V Limited Super V class between SBI and APBA. Muscle seems to have pulled out a little bit of a lead now. Pier 57 maybe had a little miscue there as they head south towards the south turn at Deerfield. Pier 57 back on the attack now, trying to chase him down, going around the south corner here. Pier 57 Fountain, number 11 in the Super V class. Love Muscle Racing, number 50 VL, just ahead of Pier 57. Love Muscle Racing with Bruce Kruglich at the wheel and Diamond Dave Branch on the throttles. Doing a great job at the National Championship here for SBI and APBA combined. Mercury 525 engines with number 6 drives, doing a great job, moving right along here. Currently in second place in SBI V Limited class. Uh-oh, looks like we got a problem. You can see Mikasuki Indian Gaming leading the SBI V Limited class and APBA V Limited class has lost their engine hatch. Still running out front strong, but maybe have a problem depending on what the water does here. You can see the Mercury 525 racing engines exposed with the Bravo drives there. Everything looks tight as opposed to some of the other video you see we have like that with no hatch. Gary Ballou and Brett Bershman aboard in the lead, number 30. Mikasuki Indian Gaming, trying to make their sponsor proud near home. Currently running second place back down on the V1. This is DF Young, Rich Wyatt, and Herb Stotler running in the Superboat V-bottom class. V1, second place, trying to chase down Rio Roses for the national championship. Oh wow, you can see a big crack coming along there, right in the middle of midship there, right? Probably the CG of the boat. The weight on opposite ends of the boat tend to do that in the rough water like this and really pound the boat. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse and these guys are able to finish the race without any major problems. FountainRacing.com, Lake Cumberland Mercury. David Knight's the owner, Roger Osley's the driver, David Knight's the throttleman. It's a 38-foot fountain with twin Mercury 525 engines with Mercury Bravo drives. One of the boats in contention for the SBI National Championships, battling with Mikasuki Indian Gaming. Run hard all year, doing very well today here off at Deerfield Beach. FountainRacing.com, Mercury Lake Cumberland, VL15. David Knight and Roger Osley out of North Carolina doing a great job, looking to win the national championship here today. If they finish where they are, they probably will take the national championship over Mikasuki Indian Gaming in Superboat International. there's all your racing action from Deerfield Beach, where we had great action at the APBA Superboat International National Championship Race for 2004. Looking forward to Key West next month, where all three organizations, APBA, SBI, and OSS, are getting together to host the true World Championships. All boats will race in one class per their normal class. There won't be separate winners for each division. It's going to be a great battle. There you can see Oceans 234, one of the race boat sponsors, the beautiful Deerfield Beach Pier with lots of spectators all around. Superboat International did a great job on orchestrating this whole event. Freeze Frame Video was happy to be part of everybody's national season. Really looks forward to our trip down to Key West next month. We'll be covering all three races, all 3 days for all the action. Really like to thank our helicopter pilot, Russell Kilpatrick, for always doing a fantastic job for us. Here's results in the Super Cat class. Pro Marine was your winner. Team Virgin was second, and in third place was Hidden Agenda. In Super Cat Light class, Team CRC was the winner. Dirty Duck took a second, and CMS Mechanical was third. In the Super V class, Mikasuki Indian Gaming was the winner. Pier 57 took a second. Lightning Strikes was third. Factory 2 class saw JBS Racing winning the race as well as the national championship. Simmons Racing took a second. Talkin' Tools, Fast Eddie, AC Delco was third. Super V class at the National Championships, Rio Roses coming away with the win and the National Championship, taking the V1 away from your second place finisher, DF Young. In the PX Superboat class, Bacardi Silver was your winner, Paradise was second, and Callum Marine was third. In P2 class, TKO Obsession was your winner and national champions. P3 class saw Fortress and Hometown Mortgage coming in first and second. P4 had Herbot and Fountain of Youth. All in all, it was a great weekend of racing here at the SBI APBA National Championship Race. We look forward to coming to Key West next month to see everybody down there and putting on a great show at the overall World Championship Race. Special thanks to Jimmy Fisher for all his help this weekend, and we'll see you all in Key West next month. It's R&S Racing with Howard Richardson and Greg Hukari aboard, with Team Taboo with Craig Wilson and Bill Mazzoni aboard just on the outside. Great racing in the P4 class here. R&S there took a third place in the first day's racing, while Team Taboo took second on the first day's racing. Heading into the corner here, Team Taboo a little bit all over the place going into the corner. Let's go to onboard camera footage and see what's going on there. Bill Mazzoni, your driver, on the left. Craig Wilson on the throttles on the right. These guys, as well as the Opium Racing, are also looking forward to moving into a canopied Super V next year. Always a strong runner. This is a 42-foot fountain with twin Yanmar diesel engines with harness and surface drives. Heading into the corner here, you can see the boat getting a little squirrely going into the corner. Little bump there, heading around turn one, as always in Key West, always a little bumpy. Whoa, oh, getting out of control. There they go, both guys out of the boat and into the water. Hopefully everybody's okay. You can see both heads there bobbing, both guys swimming. The other boats in the class going by. We should see a helicopter here soon. Bill Mazzoni and Craig Wilson both out of the back of the boat in Team Taboo. There's the rescue helicopter. Pilot Dave Clark aboard that Angel helicopter right there. Dave Clark flew for us in 1984. Been flying on and off a freeze frame for many, many years. Always does a great job. Just glad to see both the guys out of Team Taboo swimming around. They took a hard hit and took a big flight out of the boat in their 42-foot fountain. There you can see another rescue boat, Wild Thing. It's a 37 Outer Limits, stopping to assist in any way they can. Guys took quite a hit heading out of the boat there, and they both look to be moving around, but it's always rough and bumpy in Key West here. Slow motion footage going around the corner. You can see the boat takes a hard hook. Both guys left with nothing to do but go out. Pretty amazing footage from another one of Freeze Frame's onboard camera, one of many here in Key West, capturing all the exciting race coverage. Pretty amazing. You can see it looks like it took one big jump there, and the boat really turns a lot in the air. Maybe they had a problem, mechanical problem in the boat, but both guys look to be all right. Climbing back aboard the boat. Craig Wilson and Bill Mazzoni aboard Taboo, 42-foot fountain. Here comes the rescue driver swimming up to the back of the boat to check on Bill Mazzoni and Craig Wilson. Pretty dramatic. They took a pretty rough ride there. That looks like quite a lineup of boats. Lucas Oil there making their return. You can see them in the middle of the screen there. FountainMercury.com, Lake Cumberland here. Roger Osley and David Knight in the middle of the screen. Heading out towards Turn 1 here in Key West, the start of Saturday's second race. Super V class here. There's Greg Reichman and Mike Gordon aboard the RMS Offshore Racing number 2 entry in the Super V class. Right now, focusing in on Fountain Mercury, VL15, David Knight and Roger Osley at the helm. On board Miccosukee Indian Gaming now with Brett Hirschman at the wheel and Gary Ballou on the throttles. These guys finished a disappointing 11th place in the first race after leading early in that race. Onboard Instigator Fountain Mercury here. You can see Miccosukee taking the early lead there right at the start of the race. Joe Scrow and Peter Meyer here aboard Instigator. There's Roger Knight and David Osley right to the right there in the Fountain Mercury boat. This is onboard Instigator, the brand new 42-foot fountain. Took 4th in their inaugural voyage in their new boat on the first day of racing. Trying to run well here the second day to put together a good 3-day total score for the Key West World Championships. These guys just finished this boat. Their crew chief, Jerry Haney, did an amazing job to get the boat done and here to Key West. Another strong running fountain here, Fountain Mercury. David Knight and Roger Osley aboard. Quite a competitive boat. You can see Spider-Man, Adrenaline, Fury, Pier 57, Lucas Oil. Amazing Super V fleet. Like I said, 16 boats. But out front right now, Miccosukee Indian Gaming with Brett Hirschman at the wheel. Gary Ballou on the throttles. 38-foot fountain with Mercury 525 power at the point in the lead, heading to turn 1 in Key West. Pretty commanding lead right at the start by Brett Hirschman and Gary Ballou. But a long race ahead and a lot of competitors trying to chase him down. See Lucas Oil running very hot into the first turn to take the early on lead there. Adrenaline way out of control coming into the first turn. Fury all the way on the outside. Pretty amazing to see all those boats round that corner and head into the bumpy waters, running from 1 to 2 in Key West. There's Lightning Strikes with Mike Flanagan and Bob Teague aboard, another 38-foot Donzi. Pretty amazing footage here in the rough water leg off of from 1 to 2 in Key West here. Adrenaline right up there in the pack. You see Lucas Oil, Spider-Man, Fountain Mercury, Miccosukee, Fury, all these boats running at the front of this 16-boat pack in Super V class. Skater and a Fountain side by side, both identical, Mercury 525 power, as well as Miccosukee Indian Gaming with the 525 Mercury power. All these boats hanging it out, looking to be the first boat to come back into the harbor in Key West for all the fans to see. Rounding corner number 2, tight racing here. Miccosukee kind of fading out a little bit, pushing the boats a little bit wide. Heading into the harbor, three-way battle, side by side. Miccosukee Indian Gaming, Fountain Mercury, and Spider-Man. 2 fountains and a skater doing battle here in Key West. Fountain Mercury pulling with a slight advantage right now. Spider-Man side by side with them. Miccosukee just back a little bit. Big stand-up hook there by Miccosukee. Gary Ballou and Brett Hirschman a little bit out of control there. Spider-Man pulling to the front of the pack right now. Going to be side by side for the first lap between Spider-Man and Fountain Mercury. Spider-Man finished a very disappointing 12th on the first day. FountainRaces.com finished 16th after braking on the first lap. So both these boats way back in the point, but Spider-Man's at the point right now, taking the lead heading into Key West Harbor. Fountain Mercury's in second. Like do the driving. Moving on now to Pier 57. It's a 42-foot fountain with twin Mercury 525 motors with Mercruiser drives and motors. Pier 57 Boat Sales from Consay, Tennessee is the owner. David Woods is the throttle man with Wyatt Fountain at the wheel today. This is the slower of their 2 boats. They also have a Super V Unlimited boat, but they chose to run with the big class here, 16 boats in the fleet. These guys finished 5th place on Wednesday, which was a pretty good finish considering there were 16 boats. Currently running a little further back right now, trying to move up in the fleet. Pier 57 in the Super V class. Very competitive racing here in the bumpy waters off of Key West, Florida with the 2004 Combined World Championships. We have all the OSS, Superboat International, and APBA boats here competing today to vie for the true World Championship title. With 16 boats in this class, it's tough to catch up to all of them, to cover everybody, give everybody a lot of coverage. Look at this footage here. Coming into turn 2 here. Fury's on the inside. Whoa, 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 whoa! Getting a little bump there to Miccosukee, trying to push him along. Fury riding up the back of Miccosukee as they're going around the corner. Somebody didn't see somebody coming, or somebody's going in the corner a little hot. Both boats still running strong there after a little bump from Fury onto the back of Miccosukee Indian Gaming. Ray Delaney and Steve Delaney aboard Fury, kind of pushing them right along there. Mikasuki keeping going without any problem at all. They took quite a jump earlier on in the race. Pretty amazing footage, but when you get 16 boats on the same course at the same time, there's bound to be little mishaps like that. Looking down on number 96, this is the Rodriguez Group fountain, owned by Michael Carcenti out of Cannes, France, who also is your throttle man. Serge Allegre out of Rogan, France, is your driver. These guys are the world speed record holder in APBA UIM for this class. Rodriguez Group fountain running very strong here early on, the second day of racing. On the first day, these guys finished first, so they're sitting really well to do well here in Key West. Rodriguez Group fountain just churning along here, running with the rest of the pack. Very competitive racing, 16 boats in the Super V class, so very key to finish well all 3 days. On the outside, you can see lightning strikes just ahead of the Rodriguez Group fountain. Heading into turn 1 to the rough section off of Key West. It's a three-way battle here in Super V class. This is the new 42-foot fountain Instigator Fountain Mercury. Joe Scrow and Peter Meyer aboard. This boat's running across the tops of the big water here in the rough section very well here. Just rigged. Jerry Haney did an excellent job getting this boat done to make it to Key West. Just barely made it, but these guys are here to run. Just on the inside of them, the number 11 Pier 57 Skater Fountain V-bottom. Bill McComb and Billy Glick aboard. Lisa Matthews sitting out this race, letting Billy Glick take over the driving duties. This is a Vortec-powered Skater V-bottom with Mercury number 5 drives. Eating up this rough water, running very well. Bill McComb on the throttle, Bill Glick at the wheel. Some of the sponsors for this boat include Matthews Curry Ford, Glick Automotive, and Accurate Marine. Accurate Marine does an outstanding job keeping this boat together. Going around turn 2 and getting ready to head into Key West Harbor. This is number 11, Pier 57. They finished 8th place halfway through the fleet in the first race on Wednesday. Running well early on here on Saturday, Pier 57 from Sarasota, Florida. Coming down 22 now, Instigator Fountain Mercury. Joe Scrow at the wheel, Peter Meyer on the throttle. Special thanks to Joe DeMola and Jerry Haney for getting the boat done and here this week and taking care of all the work on it. Some of the sponsors aboard include Student Bus Services, DeMola Racing Stables, JTG Scaffolding, Approved Oil Company, a lot of people going to help and make an Instigator run well. These guys just got this boat running pretty well for the first time in the water. Instigator Motorsports finished 4th place on the first day of racing. Looking to move up a little bit, try to bring home another world championship to these two guys who've won several world championships here in Key West. Can't tell quite who this boat is, who's in front, all the way closest to us right now. You can see Lightning Strikes out there in front, one of the Pier 57 boats. Spider-Man on the far outside, Lucas Oil right in the middle, along with Muscle. Great start, heading out towards turn 1. Oh, it's Miccosukee Indian Gaming, another fountain, heading out towards the lead. Brett Bershman and Gary Ballou aboard Miccosukee Indian Gaming, leading again towards the first turn, as they have all 3 days led at one point or another, all 3 races. Rodriguez Group with a commanding run going here. They've got a 1st and a 7th place finish so far up until now, so they're in good position to do well overall in the World Championships. Pulling ahead of Miccosukee Indian Gaming now. Just on the outside of them is Instigator Fountain Mercury, Pier 57, and Spider-Man on the far outside. Very good battle going towards turn 1 here. Looks like it's laid down a little bit from our earlier races today. These guys running all out towards turn 1 at Key West. The number 96 is the Rodriguez Group. Serge Allegre and Michael Carcente aboard this boat. Both of these guys are from France, but always do a great job racing here in the States. Currently leading in the Super V class here, Sunday at Key West, the World Championships. Looking back just a little bit, you see fountainracing.com side by side with Pier 57 Racing. Tails there, but getting to the outside to run through the outside leg from 1 to 2 here in Key West, chopping up quite a bit here. David Woods and Wyatt Fountain aboard Pier 57. The 42-foot Fountain with Mercury 525 engines with Mercury drive. Earlier on in the week, they took a 5th on Wednesday and a 12th on Saturday. Running strong here early on today. It's the 2004 Key West World Championships. To Instigator Fountain Mercury, the new 42-foot fountain, running strong here in stages of the 2004 World Championships. Joe Scrow at the wheel, Peter Meyer on the throttle, moving right along here in Key West. Coming down now on the number 11 Super V entry. This is Bill McComb on the throttles with Bill Glick at the wheel. Normally Lisa Matthews is the driver. She's a little under the weather, so Bill Glick stepped up and is driving today for Pier 57. The 39-foot Fountain Skater V-bottom with Vortec engines and Mercury number 5 drive. Number 11 is sponsored by Accurate Marine, Matthews Ferry Ford, and Glick's Automotive. Special thanks to Russ, Jason, and the rest of the crew that helped make this possible for the 57 race team based out of Sarasota, Florida. Heading into the bumpy stuff, Pier 57 with an 8th place finish on the first day of racing and a 14th place finish on the second day, looking to improve their position to try to get into one of the top spots in the Super V class. Great attitude on the boat as it moves across the bumpy water here off of Key West. Superboat International, the Offshore Super Series, and APBA Offshore. All the groups and teams have done a fantastic job all week on putting on a great show for all the spectators and fans. Nothing like coming to Key West for some great racing action and parties all week. Freeze Frame Videos, very proud to be part of it. Look forward to coming back every year and look forward to seeing everybody every year. There you can see the big offshoreonly.com rig. Race Central here along with the STI Semi. Winners today, in fact, Superboat V, Rodriguez Group. Second place was Lightning Strikes and third place was Pier 57. Overall, they finished in the same order. Rodriguez Group, amazingly enough, comes away with the World Championship. Lightning Strikes really put it together with 2/6 and a second to come in second. In Superboat V Limited, Wild Ride took the win today. Team Typhoon was second and Team IMCO was third. Wild Ride ends up with the World Championship. Vortec Extreme comes in second as Typhoon finishes third in the World Championships. Sunday's winners in Factory 2, JBS Racing, Pantera, and Talkin' Tools finished 1, 2, 3. As well, they finished the overall that way too. JBS Racing all the way from Wisconsin with the World Championship. Pantera did a great job in their 35 Survivor to finish second. As in Manufacturers Production 2, Sony all the way from Italy with the first place today. TKO Obsession in second and Firewater in third. The World Championship results are the same way. Sony, Obsession, and Firewater 1, 2, and 3 in the World Championships P2 class. And there you have it. A lot of great action here Sunday from the Super V class. Great racing all week long. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us at the Key West Offshore World Championships. We'd like to thank our helicopter pilot, Russell Kilpatrick, who always does a fantastic job for us. And we'd like to thank the Concord Public Offshore Powerboat Racing Association for bringing this all together, putting on a great show. We look forward to seeing everybody in the new season, 2005. Look forward to St. Cloud and all the races beyond that. We wish everyone a happy holiday season, and we'll see you all next year.